I want to talk about Olympia for a second. Did you get a chance to look at the pictures afterwards, or at all hear about how the results came out?
Well, you know what? I definitely got to give a shout out to all the athletes that I'm aware of and that are friends of mine and are acquaintances. I'm really excited for Big Ramy. I'm very excited for William Bonac.
You gave a special shout out to him in our last interview, and he just ended up 5th place at the Olympia, and then he just won the Prague Pro.
Yes, he did.
That was the more nobody. Well, some expected, but I didn't expect him to be such a great improvement. That was like the best improvement of all time.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys have really stepped up their game this year. Ruli Winkler started out in England, the Body Power Pro Show. Him and Nathan.
Oh yeah.
Much improved this season and just really kicked off the season for those guys.
Yeah.
In
People
some
compare
really
William
big ways.
Bonac to you a lot. I think it's because of the hair, maybe. I don't know why.
I think
they keep comparing.
Well, that dude is thick. Even Phil Heath looked amazing this year. I mean, I've heard a lot of things, but the truth is, behind the scenes, quiet as kept. That dude really dealt with a lot, and he really did. What he brought to the stage meant that he really had to hold it together, in ways that I think the world does not get a chance to understand or even realize when they're privileged to watch it from their couch.
You get a chance to see Kevin Levrone's performance or pictures from his.
Yeah, man, shout out to Kevin Levrone. I mean, the truth is the dude did an amazing job. What he did was nothing short of awesome and incredible. There were a lot of athletes over the last 2 decades that have at one time or another decided that they were going to come back, and they started doing the interviews and they talked about it, and they not too long after they started, though, they ended up realizing, man, this is a really interesting set of challenges that you have kind of taken on your shoulders when you do that. It's not an easy thing to do, and he was removed from the sport for more than 15 years or so, and really that's a whole nother body, and the work that it had to take in order to produce that, I believe, was almost the equivalent of starting from zero. A lot of times we take for granted that when we're 30 that we've been 30 already, and not realize that, wow, though you may be 30 now, you've never been 30 before. This is your first time, and the discomforts that may come along with that, having discovered yourself to be a year older, or 30 years older than you were when you first got this lease on this new body. It's a very interesting set of challenges that a lot of times is very, very difficult to understand. You know how to diet, right? You know how to get in shape. It's different. He's over 50.
I think the fans loved it also. Just in general, the people enjoyed that type of, because it wasn't, I guess, the rivalry component was missing from the Olympia this year. So the fans wanted some kind of excitement, outside of just a regular, lineup. And I think he brought that, something different,
It's not by accident that happened. I mean, it was necessary. The page turns. The next day and the next day will come. The business has to go on, and it still has to conduct itself in a way that will help secure a bottom line for it. So it can't just dwell on the past. They have to. They have to continue. And I think Kevin Levrone did what he was supposed to do, and I definitely support it.